I'm a second-year mechatronics student who hasn't done much this summer, or the last 18 years of my life. So I tasked myself with building a robot in 2 weeks. Which is not very easy, as I came to find out. The robot arm I'm building can be divided into 3 parts. The first one being the base and the shoulder, similar to as in a human where we have our own shoulder. I started by consulting with my agent and figuring out exactly what I need to do to lay out the pins. For this build, I'm going to be using a ALOT power source, which is going to just provide all the power for this entire project, and also a breadboard because I don't want to make a PCB. I'm going to be using this joystick to control half of the robot's movement, along with using 2 potentiometers to control the rest of the movement. I've also realized that when you're using so many parts in a project like this, you end up using a lot of wires. So a major issue of this whole project is actually just managing the wires and trying to figure out that the wrong ones are not going to the wrong things. Because if I reverse them the wrong way, then the whole project would just fry itself. I'm also going to be using an ESP32, which I got from a kit that I bought online. And this ESP32 specifically has Wi-Fi on it. I then began connecting my servos, which I'm going to be using 4 for this project, back to my ESP32 and the breadboard to get power. And what we're hoping for is that when we upload this code, we power it when we power it on. Let's look at our monitor as well. And so we ended our first day being able to control the servos by hand, which I consider a great success. One of the main challenges for this whole project for me was trying to figure out how to 3D model and make all the parts fit together, which was quite difficult for me. I think what really helped was how fast my printer was. I'm using a P1S, by the way, which still didn't stop me from designing things wrong. Second time was indeed the charm, and I'm using a new color because I'm a new man after learning how to 3D print properly, I guess. Boom! Seeing this made me really happy, I don't know why. As the design process went, I did everything really inefficiently, now thinking about it, and I still printed things wrong. Like for this part, I literally forgot to measure the second servo position. But second time was a charm. Now we can finally begin working on the second part of this project, which is the elbow, or the arm of the robot, which I'm excited to work on. One thing that my first year did not teach me is how to CAD properly, since everything went wrong. This part didn't work because my screwdriver was literally too big. So I made it again. But, as we find out, this part didn't work because it was too thin. Yep. No. So I hopped back into CAD and finally finished the part, which was nice. And by fix the part, I meant find a tiny screw, of course. Now we began working on something that was way out of my pay grade, which is the hand or the gripper of this robot. And as you can see, I did not know what to do. So I just went online and found something very simple by MossBot. So thank you to MossBot. Apart from making some very small modifications, I pretty much copied this part one for one, and it worked out beautifully. So thank you very much, because I could not decide this by myself. When I assembled my robot, I realized that it had this massive shake to it, which I attributed earlier to just being a power issue, and it just didn't have enough power. Now in hindsight, I think it was just to do with the strength of the arm and it being way too weak, but you know, I'm dumb. So I ordered a power supply. Morning of day 13, I was met with a bunch of packages, and in that pile of packages, I found my power supply. And as I now realized, the power supply was not the issue at all. So I ended up chatting with my best friend agent to try and fix some of the software issues, which did help somewhat, but I did end up just changing the arm, like, and just thickening it, so. Now, as I struggle to pick up this last piece of gum, let me discuss a few points of this project that I think are kind of going to get misunderstood. One, this is my first project, and that is why it's not perfect. It's not even good, to be honest, but I'm proud of it. This was the first thing I ever built, like, on my own in 3D printing and electronics-wise, so it did take a long time for me to get to this point, but this is what I could show for it, and I'm pretty proud of it. So, like and sub so I can get better. This is also my first time editing, so this took me literally 20 hours to do, so thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it.